So to make this even more credible and substantiated as far as autoimmune disorders and autoimmunity, that is when you take in a reprogramming of your immune system, of your antigens that are being reprogrammed to then go after specific viruses to do a search and destroy when you get exposed. So when a person suffers from like lupus, MS, diabetes, any type of autoimmune disorder, that's because the body is programmed to attack itself. So thank you, Derek Buford, for making it more down to the science, because there's so many layers to this, and there's so many ways you can attack a specific concept and apply the known verbiage and terms. And so, yes, an autoimmune disorder is a type of cytokine storm that is from a pre-programmed monoclonal antibody that has reprogrammed your immune system to create antigen to then go after the body that's evolved to the environment that's been exposed to a virus. So a virus first evolves the body, then the person gets a vaccine or a mass therapeutic. It has that programming, and then your immune system is attacking itself. So people are wondering like, oh, it's such a mystery why I have an autoimmune disorder. Oh no, honey, it's because of your exposure to the mass therapeutics that reprogrammed your body to attack itself. It is a type of self-destruct, self-annihilation that then makes you more pliable and easily controlled in an environment that needs to exploit the talents and then out with the old and in with the new. Okay? So autoimmunity is not something that is just spontaneous. Autoimmunity is from an actual action. And right now I'm writing about actions and reactions. And just because, all actions are reactions, no matter what, every single action out there is a reaction. Because when you actually trace it back to the original form, it became either the chicken or the egg way back, way before time, way before you even knew that you were going to exist. Every action is an actual reaction. Just because you don't know the catalyst behind the action, which is really a reaction, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Oh, yes, it does exist. You just don't happen to know it. But your cancer, disease, and chronic illness is a reaction to your belief system. Okay? And your belief system is then going and getting these other actions that are actually reactions. And what are they reacting from? Why is the mass therapeutics a reaction? Because now we're heading into a organized population decline. What did I call it? I called it something where it's an actual organized population decline. You had the baby boomers, then you had the baby busters, and now you have the 2020 kickoff, which was the release of the COVID-19, and how it came about is almost irrelevant because there's 4 different ways of how a virus gets released, and it's all disputable and debatable, which is really irrelevant because it's still a reaction to a larger agenda that you may or may not know about. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means that you just don't know about it. Okay? And so when you look at the Georgia Guidestones, I actually wrote out the Georgia Guidestones and then my very quick take on what they actually are trying to convey. And so I'll just give you a real quick synopsis, a real quick what I wrote a little bit. Okay? So maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. 6,500,000,000 need to be recycled back into the universe. There's evidence to suggest a planned, organized decline of the world population is actively being rolled out. Guiding reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity, aggressively compromised immune systems will inevitably have fertility issues, and you'll have to pay for fertility treatments if you can afford them. CRISPR gene editing and biotechnology manipulating the human genome is the foundation of improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. A universal language is paramount in a world aiming to work together for the common good. What language is being referenced? That will be determined once the previous tenets are realized. So as soon as they maintain humanity under 500 million and they guide reproduction wisely, we'll then figure out a new living language. Rule passion, faith, and tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Different belief systems are what makes society interesting. Extremist and intolerant points of view serving to discriminate is not welcome to the New World Order. You will be identified, re-educated, or neutralized in body, mind, and spirit. And that includes with this virus and all of the PPE attached to it, as well as all the mass therapeutics. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Democratizing all nations is the goal. Ridding countries from rogue extremists, government officials who victimize productive members of society. Now, you can figure out what does productive member mean, and if you are on disability, if you've commit crimes, if you are not a productive member of society, helping accelerate humanity into the next level, then you are not a productive member. So you are necessarily not being victimized. You're just being weeded out. I mean, that's kind of what's going on here. So if you have cancer, disease, and chronic illness and autoimmune disorders and all that, and you're not really pulling your weight, then you're not really a victim. You're just going out with the chaff. I mean, it's as cold as it's going to be. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. I see this as a chain of command. Before you get tried in a world court for crimes against humanity, one must be tried by their own people first. If internal disputes are able to be quelled, no reason for internal disputes to become external disputes. Issues between countries logically need to be addressed by their peers, the ones governing the countries in dispute. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. This is about the law of large numbers. Petty laws and useless officials are a subjective context that will be clear once the petty laws and useless officials are identified and the population declines. What could be a petty law in the future is bountiful now because society has not been scaled back yet to warrant a recategorization of the law or the official. Balance personal rights with social duties. The operative word is balance. You have personal rights as a human with selfish interests who also lives in a community who is influenced by your presence. Social duties are doing your part in contributing your skill set to a society regardless of your beliefs. Contributing to your skill set. Not wearing a mask and thinking, okay, that's contributing. No, that actually is harming people because now people are thinking that if you wear a mask, it's going to protect them. No, it's going to actually set them up for failure when they do get that mass vaccination. And then they think that they're all safe and they go out in society and they're hit with a million different viruses and that cytokine storm is going to kick their ass. So this whole mask wearing is setting your friends up for fucking failure. It's insane. It's freaking insane. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Truth, beauty, and love are still very subjective with different ideas of what truth, beauty, and love entail. The word infinite is objective because it goes on forever. To be infinite is to be harmonious with the universe in an organized form with a purpose. Be not a cancer on this earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. This last tenet comes full freaking circle. The first tenet is the intention to scale back the population through a planned organized decline. Cancer is from an overaccumulation of growth in any one area, usurping the energy in that one area. Nature, such as humans, plants, animals, water sources, and trees need room to grow, balance, and become an active, successful microbiome for life. And then my next section is this proof of the repurposing of humanity rolled out to the masses? And then I'm going to go down and list everything that everyone has been an activist against. 5G, chemtrails, GMO, all that stuff as like a soft type of KILL. And then yes, 2020 is the kickoff. And that's when I'm going to list all that out. So yeah, this is not a conspiracy. Just because you don't know the actual intention behind the actions doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means that you're just not aware of the bigger picture and you're assuming that they're doing this to protect you when in actuality, don't worry, honey, you're going to find out how much protection was really intended in the next 2 to 5 years. Once they actually open up society, you will know how much protection those mass therapeutics and your freaking mask is really going to be. And believe me, it's going to be way the opposite than what you think it is. See, our government can help you, but when they have a bigger plan and they already deemed who is going to be the excess, now, protection is subjective. Okay? Because they think that scaling back society is protecting those that are productive. So it's all based upon your perception, your perspective. So understand the full bigger picture and not just your little narrow point of view of, oh yeah, they're trying to protect us. Oh no, honey, it's completely the fucking opposite if you understand the science. All right, bye.